What's going on YouTube? This is Mark with Waist Deep Wade Fishing, Southwest Florida. How's everything going out there today? Again, I want to take a moment to thank everyone that's been subscribing to the channel, sharing the channel, viewing the channel, and spreading the love. Much appreciated. And if there's anything or any questions or anything you need to ask, please leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe on the bottom. It's the little red button. Turn it to gray. Make sure you hit the notification bell and turn it on. Okay, this way you'll be notified on my next video. So today I want to talk about a couple of things. And the biggest thing to speak about right now for the wade fisherman's world, okay, is sea trout. This is the time of the year when they spawn. Early spring, and this is when they start. Biggest feed. I mean, these big trout are coming out and they're looking for a female. They're exuding, they're using up energy all day, chasing them down, mating with them, and it's a great thing, because it's going to keep the population up and keep the sea trout, thriving. I'm very, very excited about it. I cannot wait to get out there and get on the water and throw a couple of top waters at them, because now's the time for it. Before we go any further, I do want to say a shout out to Yeti, because I've had this, cup here, this Yeti cup for, I don't know, about 6 or 7 months, and I swear to you, I can put, a glass of soda in here with some ice in the morning, and it can stay all day in there with the ice cube. It is the evening, and it's still cold. I mean, they're just amazing. I'm not sponsored by them. I'm just giving them a shout out because I think they're amazing. So, shout out to you, Yeti. The first thing we want to talk about today is, while we're wade fishing, what are we going to go out there and look for during the spawn? How are we going to find these fish? Well, what we're going to do today is talk about 3 major things: structure, current, bait. Now, if you can find two out of those three things in any specific wade fishing area, you're going to find the trout. But if you can find all 3 of them in the same area, man, you better just get ready and get a good grip on that rod, because you should have a good time. So the first thing that I want to discuss when going out there looking for these big trophy trout is the ambush points, or better yet, the things that they use to ambush. Number 1 would be, obvious, the seagrass and the potholes. That's number 1. But you want to look for the oyster bars. You want to look for bumps, stumps. You want to look for drop-offs. You want to look for docks, rocks, anything that you can think of that a fish would possibly hide behind or use as an ambush point. You find those, now you're looking for bait and you're looking for current. If you've got all 3 of those factors together, man, you're in the money. So the next thing I want to talk about is what type of baits should you be using during the spawn? Well, that's a little bit difficult to decide, and it's not, I can't just say, okay, use this bait or use that bait, or this works or that works. But this is what I can tell you. If you are out there, and let's just say, you're walking around the flat and you happen to see finger mullet. That would be mullet the size of your finger. Well, I would suggest, if it was early morning with a little bit of cover outside, I would be throwing either a white and chartreuse Spook Junior, or if you have a windy condition. Now, if it's still a little dark outside, you still have a little bit of cloud cover, but you have a little bit of wind and there's a little bit of chop on the water, well, the Spook, it does have a good, it's got a good knock, but not loud enough to really call them in. Well, then I would suggest, if there's wind on that water, go ahead and grab yourself a She-Dog Junior, either in pink or in chartreuse and white. Those are my go-tos. Those are my favorites, and they've been nothing but good for me since I started using them. Now, if you happen to, play around with those baits and you don't, you're not getting any success around that, and the fish are just not hitting those top waters, well then, if, when fishing for trout, I would go to either a jerk bait or a paddle tail. I personally don't use jerk baits that much, but I will use a DOA paddle tail, 3.5 inches, and I like to use the chicken on the chain color, which is like a green with the silver and black flake with a chartreuse tail. And I'll go ahead and I'll take Procure mullet scent and put that all over that bait, and then I'll start throwing it at the potholes, I'll start throwing it at the structure. Now the next thing we need to find is current. Now you can have all these factors, but if you don't have moving water, chances are you're not going to catch any fish. For some reason, when the water is still, and I believe it's just because the fish don't want to use that much of their energy. The trout and the redfish and the snook all love current. So now that you have those two factors, you want to look for current. And preferably, to find the strongest current, right now, try to stay near bridges, near passes. If you could find a pass, a bottleneck pass in your area, one of the ones that I use, I'll put it out there. It's one of my spots. I'm going to give it to you today. If you go to Lover's Key Park, okay, and you park at the park itself, get out of your car, walk over the bridge. Once you get to the bridge, to the other side of the bridge, walk around, go down towards the water. Once you're down at the water, depending on the movement of the tides, if the tide is going out, stay on the left side of the bridge, throw up into the current, bop a jig head, a 1/4 ounce jig head, with a chicken on a chain paddle tail, bop it off the bottom, basically throw it, flick it, let it sit. Flick it, let it sit. Flick it, let it sit. Try over there. If you have no luck over there, pack up your gear, walk about, I don't know, I'm going to say a little bit more than a football field down the beach. And there, on the right at the end of that beach, there's going to be a point. And basically on that outgoing tide, when that water is wrapping around that point, if you get on the other side of that point and sit there and throw into the current, and if you have cloudy water, okay, use a darker bait. A purple and black, a dark brown, a new penny. If you have lighter, more clear water and it's not so much full of silt, then go with a white bait, a chartreuse bait, a clear bait. Silver also works. And use that spot, because they'll use that point as an ambush area. And that's just one of my gifts to you guys. So I put that little spot out there. I hope everyone uses it, because there's going to be so many trout there. You can't fish it out. I've been going to that spot for 10 years, and there's been times when I've caught over 30, 40 trout on a trip. And you will also get yourself some snook if you walk the beaches as it starts to get warmer. Going into April, May, and June, if you walk that beach from that point, keep on walking down and throw parallel to the beach, there will be snook in the trough line. I highly suggest using white once that time comes. White has just been killer. Use an all white paddle tail, all white DOA paddle tail, or also use a Slayer Inc. Chicken on the chain. Works as well. So that's my little gift to you guys. Next topic, before we wrap this up, and it's very, 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 very important. Follow the tides. I can't stress this enough. Okay, trout love outgoing tide, especially if you can find them on the point. On the incoming, I've had some luck, but in that particular spot that I put out there today, it's outgoing or nothing. On the incoming tide, you may catch a couple of jacks, but you want to get to that spot Big Carlos Pass, not on the bridge, over from Parking Lovers Key, go on the other side of the bridge, go underneath that bridge onto the sand, fish near the pylons. If you don't have any luck near the pylons, walk down the beach till you get to the point and wait for that outgoing tide. You want to get there get there before the outgoing starts. This way, you'll catch the beginning of it. That switch, when it goes from slack tide to outgoing tide, that is when you want to go ahead and start throwing those lures. So I just want to say thank you to everyone today for tuning in. I hope the information I put out there today helps everyone catch a lot of trout this spawning season. I will see you down at that area. You know, maybe down the line we could do a meet and greet, and then we could maybe put a little clinic on, and I can show you what to throw, when to throw it, how to throw it in real time. So again, this is Mark with Waist Deep Wade Fishing. One love, much love to everyone out there. I hope I can keep growing this channel and getting bigger and better. And I'll see you on the water. Make sure you get yourself a yellowmouth. All right? Take it easy. Bye.